It's me, Stevie Jackson. Welcome to my show. Hey there, welcome back to the Stevie Jackson Show. And we are going to bring back a segment that we have not done for quite a while because we had a little bit of an incident with a guy named Heyman. We're still putting the studio back together from that one. But we've got a good string of New Testament characters that we're going to bring onto the show for the Meet the People of the Bible segment. Our character for today, he's a pretty interesting fellow. So let's go ahead and welcome Matthew to the set. Matthew, how are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good to see you.
Good to be here, Stevie.
Yeah.
Great.
So Matthew, we've got some questions that we'd like to ask you today.
Sure,
Just
fire away.
Get to know you a little bit more, help the audience get to know you a little bit. The first question that we have here is, we heard that you actually have two names. What's that about?
Yeah, Matthew, but then I'm also known as Levi, and some of the writers of the New Testament Gospels, and a couple of them just decided that Levi was what I was known by, but, Mom didn't like that. So we're really going back to Matthew.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we'll call you Matthew. We won't call you Levi, just to keep your mother pleased.
Mom's watching, I'm sure.
She'll surely be watching this.
Oh, yeah.
So,
hi, Mom.
So, is it okay if we play a little game?
Sure, I love games.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna ask you.
This doesn't have anything to do with fish, does it?
No fish.
Okay, because I'm telling you, I hear it all about fish, and I'm not a fisherman. So, okay, yeah, go ahead.
No fish.
Okay.
What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna say a characteristic of some kind, and you have to tell me which of the disciples lived out this characteristic a little bit more to the extreme, maybe, or so. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So the first one, dramatic.
Oh, that's got to be Thomas. I won't believe until I put my hand in his side and put my finger. Come on.
All right. Okay.
Thomas.
So
Thomas.
Who's the funniest?
Oh, actually, this might surprise you. It's Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when he tells Peter, you don't need to fish for fish anymore. Come with me, fish for people. That's a funny statement. And then when he's talking to the Pharisees and he tells them, we're going to strain the gnat and swallow the camel. But in Aramaic, it's strain the galma and swallow the gamla. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. He's doing that all the time.
All right.
Hilarious.
Okay. Who's the most volatile?
Sons of Thunder. They didn't call James and John that for nothing. Oh my God. One time they wanted to call down fire on that Samaritan village. Don't cross them. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Sons of Thunder, man. Whew.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Scary stuff right there.
Oh, yeah.
So Matthew, a couple more questions here for you.
Sure.
Just describe for us, because I think the audience is really wondering, what was it like to hang out with Jesus? What was that like?
Well, I'll tell you. One time in particular, Jesus was hanging out with me and all my friends. A bunch of sinners and tax collectors. He treated us like we were regular people. I mean, there's no judgment. I mean, there's no condemnation. I mean, you could just tell he loved us. And of course, the religious leaders, oh no, what are you hanging around with that crowd for? Yeah. And Jesus was like, well, you know what? The doctor goes and sees the sick. I love that. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's going where he's needed, and we needed him even though we didn't know it.
Yeah.
And so, hanging out with Jesus, that was like, that was the real deal. You got the real Jesus when you're right there with him, and there's no hiding anything from him. But you really didn't even want to hide. You just realized this is a person that's going to love me, and it's going to stretch me to try to even be a better person. Just a lot of good stuff going on there.
So speaking about stretching you a little bit, tell us, what was it like to be a tax collector in that time? And then how did that change your life when you met Jesus?
Well, being a tax collector, that means I'm working with the enemy. I mean, I'm collaborating with the Romans.
Yeah.
They had taken over our nation, and they were ruling it with the Roman pax, the Roman peace, and that means that's the brutal fist. That's the crucifixion. That's the, you do everything their way or you're dead.
Right.
I could work for them and make some money, and boy, we needed the money, and frankly, that just seemed like the best option, but boy, the Jewish people didn't like that. And my Jewish family and friends, I mean, I took care of my family, but the way the whole system worked was, if you owed taxes, you know, I can go to you and I could say, this is what you owe, and you can't do anything about that. You got to pay that tax. And of course, I'm getting my salary out of that, and I have to admit, there were times then that I took more than I really needed to, but you know, sometimes it's a dog-eat-dog world. That's how I was viewing the whole thing. And so I didn't really have any friends among the Jews unless they were other tax collectors or people that the other religious authorities didn't like, the sinners. I realize we're all sinners, but boy, it seems like some sins were cast worse than others by the religious authorities. So that's where I was at. But boy, when Jesus, he pointed his finger at me and, Matthew, I want you to follow me. And there was no, you got to get better first or you're not worth anything the way you are. No, it's like he looked at me and he realized my potential and he's like, I want you. I've never been wanted before, ever, on anything. And when I started hanging around him, and then I realized I want to be more like that.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like this Jesus guy, just once you encounter him, he just changes you.
You're never the same once you really encounter him.
Yeah.
You do have to be open to recognizing your own self and your own faults. But we can all work at improvement, right? I mean, so no, that's
incredible. So I got just one last question for you. So since you're a tax collector, you're working with the money.
Oh yeah.
You good with numbers?
Oh my. All the time.
All the time.
I couldn't bring my abacus. They wouldn't let it into the studio. I don't know what they thought I was
Must
going to
have
do with
been
it.
the metal detector
Well,
or something.
I guess, but I mean, you got this nice little things. You can do that math. It's good stuff.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, let's give it up for Matthew, and just thanks for coming out, and we just
Thanks for having me.
Just really appreciate you coming and sharing a little bit of your story, and we hope to have you back on the show again soon.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.